Welcome back, everybody. And anybody who actually sat through my multi-classing videos, I commend you. I would not recommend it for anybody who is watching this and has not seen it. It's about 25 hours of extremely boring stuff that I will show the results of right now. So, oops,
Ow.
wrong way. There we go. Okay, so the goal of that was for everyone to get to their final class and also obtain all the skills that I want them to have and want them to take into the next game, and also to learn all the spells that I would like them to have, or at least all the spells that I need them to have. So, starting from Hildur. So the first of all, the order of my characters is mostly set. Eventually, the monk and samurai will change. The reason why the monk is in front is because I want the ninjutsu to increase over time, which is going to happen naturally as they avoid hits. So Hildur is going to finish the game as a Valkyrie. Currently level 7 after all that multi-classing. The weapon skills are basically ignored other than whatever they got while we were multi-classing. It is also important that you leave a few of these at 0 because there is a bug in the game that if you are unable to put points in a skill, any skill, like basically you have everything at 100, the game can crash. So you always want to make sure you're not going to encounter that problem. Now that would require, if you're playing legitimately like I am, that would require an extensive amount of multi-classing, and so the game designers probably never even considered it. But if you happen to do a save game cheat, it will happen pretty quickly. So the you can see the oratory and the scouting just happen naturally. I put 1 point in legerdemain and skullduggery, and ninjutsu I'll have to push manually. For the monk and the ninja, that will rise naturally as they are in the front row. On the academia side, mythology has risen naturally. I have pushed all of the spell skills to 100, and I have to push Kirajitsu as well. Some of my characters already have Kirajitsu to 100. Kirajitsu will not level up on its own. All right, on to the next one. Cobra will finish the game as a monk. I have left her, left the quarterstaff on her in case I have to put her in the back row whenever that time comes, which I will once her ninjutsu gets pretty close to 100, or whenever the samurai gets a good enough weapon that it makes sense to go up front. Again, the weapon skills are whatever they were. Physical side, 1 point in legerdemain, 1 point in skullduggery, and the ninjutsu should rise naturally. On the academia side, Kirajitsu I pushed first. Theology I did not actually need to get to 100 because I never passed through another priestly class, but I will push that to 100 next. And then the next thing that I will do for this character is to increase. I believe this one is going to be scribe, but I have to check. All right, on to ghost. Uh, she will finish the game as a ninja. Again, I left the quarterstaff in there just in case I want to move some stuff around. On the skill side, she actually has the most weapon skills just because of the way it worked out while I was leveling up. Um, but I will be pushing legerdemain and skullduggery after Kirajitsu is finished here. So we should be good there. There's plenty of places to put points into. On Blade, this she will end the game as a samurai. I will have to push the ninjutsu manually, and skullduggery may or may not be required to push. I'll have to check my map. All right, and then the theosophy, that's the monk skills. So this character is also the only one that would not get theology. That's just a function of the way that the math worked out as I was drawing out my multi-classing path, but that'll get fixed in Wizardry 7. And you see I already pushed Kirajitsu to 100. Okay, and Eagle and Minerva will finish the games as Valkyries. And their ninjutsu's Eagle's ninjutsu is already up, and everything here is up except for Theosophy, so that's the next one to push. The reason why Theosophy didn't get pushed is because the monk skills, I wasn't going to pass through monk again, so that was irrelevant to what I was trying to do. And on Minerva, ninjutsu is almost already 100. For whatever reason, her scouting is way up, so I probably won't have to push that, but that will be, I need to get one character scouting up to 100. This might be the one. And Theosophy, again, that's the first one I'm going to push to 100. That way it's there for the next game. All right. Now you also see that I have gone through and re-equipped all of my characters. So now that they're in their final class, I can give them the best gear they have available to them. So for the Valkyries, they can handle shields, and Bullwhip is a single-handed weapon. So whoever's going to handle the Bullwhip will get the shield. On the armor side, it's all leather plus the Cure Gauntlets. I kept the Quarterstaff and a few characters just in case I wanted to swap out later. Eagle, again, Quarterstaff and all leather. And Hilder in the front row gets all the best gear. So they've got the Sword of Striking, Heraldic Shield, the Chain Halbrook, and the rest is all leather. Now, typically I would have a character that would have the Heater Shield, which is one better than the Heraldic Shield, but I did not get that random drop. So hopefully I'll get that random drop in the Giant Mountain, which we'll go to later. But if not, then I just won't be able to take that particular equipment into Wizardry 7, and I'll take a round shield instead. Okay. The Samurai, once she moves to the front row, we'll start using the Katana and the Wakizashi again. But until then, it's Quarterstaff and all leather, except in the case of the Samurai, they can't use leather boots, so booskins are what they use. Ghost ends the game as a ninja, so that's pretty straightforward. And since she's in the front row currently, she's using the Katana and the Wakizashi. And Cobra will use hands and feet for now. And the monk gear is extremely limited. The monk is the only class that ends up being able to use skull cap as well, I believe. The only class that I'm using. Yes. All right, and that completes my talk or my review of what's happening. So the next thing was to go downstairs and do the Viper Pit. So this was the next option that I had available to me whenever I decided to start multi-classing. So normally the way you would handle this, if you didn't want to go what I did, is keep going to Queequeg, which is the vendor that I just passed, over and over and over again, and you want to get a lot of Cure Poison potions. I suggest to buy at least 12, that way you've got 2 for each person, because 1 Cure Poison doesn't always fix it. The Viper Pit is something that they will hit you hard with the poison. The actual bites they do, not so bad. The fight itself is not hard. The hard part of the fight is surviving the poison later. And every time they hit you, it's a very high chance they will poison you. And it's a pretty bad poison. Alright, so let's go. Let's see who had my keys. Not you. Did Ghost have my keys? Nope. Who had my keys? Minerva, maybe? There they are. Okay, the gold key will open up this door. I'm going to go ahead and save right here. I'm going to show you how to do this the traditional way if you don't have any spells. Alright, let me pull up Viper Pit. Alright, so now we're going to go into this room, and you see that the tile just changed. So every room, or every tile has a pressure button, and you need to make sure you do it in the correct order. If you fall down, you end up fighting the Vipers. I think there's a way to do it where you never have to fight the Vipers to begin with, but before you come in here, in case you screw up, make sure you have those Cure Poison potions or a Cure Poison spell. Alright, so now we stepped in the middle one, and we turn around to face the entrance. Then we southeast, so this one. Press the button. Alright. Far northwest. Press the button. And then back at the door, right there. Alright, and the gold key chest. Okay, and so we're going to, we'll go ahead and save and resume. Open. Disarm. Blade was my person that had that. Oh, wait. Oh, I should have inspected. Oh, wait. I got it right by accident. Let me just show you what I should have done here with the inspect. Oh, is what I got. It's not really a good one. Oh.
Ow, 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 ow.
Book of Ram. I think Ghost is holding all that. Anointed Cloak. Amulet of Night, Resurrection. Alright, let me review Blade, see if she got any level ups off that. She did not. Alright, let me try that again. A. Not very helpful, but at least it's going to have an A in there.
Ow, 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 ow.
Alright, well, it's alright. If it's only health damage, I'm not too worried about it. Now this Anointed Cloak, I think that's something I want to use. Let me check. Anointed Cloak. No, but let's see what it is. Alright, say the Anointed Cloak. AC -1. And let's see what the Anointed Cloak is actually supposed to do. Okay, no special things, it's just a -1 cloak. Okay, and Amulet of the Night. Amulet of the Night is nothing special, but it can cast Blinding Flash. Okay, so That I can sell. Oh, am I not going to be able to show you the vipers? Okay. Let me actually redo this because I wanted to be able to show you that viper. Hold on a second. So I'm going to restore my previous save game. Just a moment. Alright. So now we're back at Queequeg. And not there. Over here. So there you saw how to do it properly. So it can be done without actually having to fight the vipers. Although it's a fun fight, so I will show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just fall in. Two giant serpents. Alright. So, I'm going to fight this just normal, no spells. And show you, because I should get Yep, poison. See? It's almost absolute poison. Alright, now, of course I'm going to gain a level. Alright, so now I'm just going to rest and see if they die. Okay, so because I have so much health, it wasn't a big deal. But normally, that would kill you. So what I'm doing here is selecting by spell points. And I'm going to need these spell points first. So you see, even with my good gear and high levels, I can it still takes a little bit to beat him unless you get a critical from Kirajitsu. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to cure the poison. So let's just do a level 1 first. Nope. Now the good thing about it is every time you cast the spell it decreases the poison a little bit. Level 1, nope. A potion I think is around a level 3 spell. Okay, so it took 3 level 1s to cure that. Now, in a normal fight, if you hadn't gone through the multi-classing and you weren't as powerful as I am, I would usually end up around 3 or 4 people getting poisoned. So that means you have a limited amount of spell points and or cure poison potions. You might get unlucky and have to fight 2 sets of vipers, and you only have so much heal wounds, divinity spell points. So when you do that, if you rest down here, you're almost certain to get another fight. So let me show you that. Oh, I got lucky. There we go. And you see now, I'm even asleep. It's even worse.
Ow.
So resting is a horrible thing to do.
Ow.
Poison, poison.
Ow. 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 Ow.
Now, if you have some spells, I think Blinding Flash works on these guys.
Ow.
Yes, that's the key to it. So if you have Blinding Flash, that is the equalizer in this battle. Alright, get me a point in each of these. I need to push these, so I'm going to do blades. Alright, so now I don't want to actually die, so let me heal up. So you can see with as many hit points as I have now, doing a heal wounds is no laughing matter. I'm having to do some pretty high level casts just to get back up to tip-top shape. Okay, so that was a level 3 spell, which again I think is about what you get from the potions, and that took care of it. But it's not always, it's not a guarantee. Alright, so now, whenever we come out of that, we end up right back where we were. So there's no way to get to that spot normally, unless you fall. Alright, now let's do this the right way. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, everyone now has Nuclear Blast. Makes the game so much easier.
Ow.
And I think 3 people have Mind Flay, which is also a useful spell,
Ow.
depending on what you're doing. It's interesting that a Nuclear Blast didn't kill it. These must be good vines. Jungle Vines, yep. They are a little bit better than normal. So eventually what you'll see me do as I get to the higher levels is I will have 2 or sometimes 3 people cast Nuclear Blast. Okay, so that was just a single attribute point level up. So I am actually going to save Scum a couple of times and see if I can't get that to be better. I want to get at least a 2-pointer in each time I level up. I didn't even get anything? Okay. Well, thankfully I have Cure Paralysis. Level 5 it took to cure that. Wow. Alright, so now I have the Book of Ram. Alright, so now let's read that Book of Ram. Use Book of Ram. Alright, you open the ancient textbook and read the following text. O first knight of Ram, and second-born Ram again, find third upon thy altar burning bright. Where fourth knight of Wands bears fifth magic sun again, is when thy graven altar shall blossom into night. Alright, so that is a riddle, essentially. Read that one more time here. Okay, first knight of Ram, second born Ram again. So the ram is the goat's head. Third upon thy altar burning bright. The burning is the flaming orb. The fourth knight of wands is magic, and bears fifth magic sun again, is when thy graven altar shall blossom into night. Okay, so magic sun is meant to confuse you. The sun part is what you have to focus on. So it's goat's head, flaming orb, magic staff, flaming orb. Alright, so now we're going to go back up to the top. And let's find that. Oh, opposite side. There we go. Nope, not there. I want to go up one level. I think. Oh, I locked it up. And that's why we save often, ladies and gentlemen. Where am I? Oh, I'm down here. Okay. Nope. Where did I get to that altar before? Is that out this door? Yep, there we go. Okay, a great stone altar rises up from the floor, graven with runes and demonic figurines. Grotesque caricatures play in some bizarre ritual, and stains of deep red color the surface. Ghoulish acts depict a story of horror, giving cold sobriety to its unholy purpose. These images brutally dispel any ideas of Gaelic charm the castle once held, an innocence consumed by the shocking nightmare of its reality. Examining the foul slab, you discover three special symbols, which can press into the altar like a kind of switch. The symbols are, respectively, an orb of flame, a goat's head, and a staff. So again, we're doing goat's head, flaming orb, magic staff, flaming orb. The altar surface begins to lower. The surface of the altar has opened, revealing a pit which descends into darkness. And of course we're going to jump into the pit. You jump into the pit. Everyone lands with a sharp thud.
Ow. 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 Ow.
You see something move inside the bars of a gate in front of you. Rapid movement flashes across the gate. Only a faint blur of motion is seen as the... Oh! Here we go. So even if you avoid the serpents at the gold key, you have to fight them here. So I knew you couldn't avoid this fight. I just forgot which place you couldn't avoid it. Alright, so we are going to do... Not you. Fight, fight, fight. Blade is going to do blinding flash. Let's do a good one. And you're going to do a slow. And I don't really need to do this. I'm just doing it for y'all's benefit. Actually, let's conjure up something for us. That'll be fun.
Ow.
Now you see they are extremely fast. So they got the first hit, even though I'm pretty uber right now. And you see I have two shades conjured. So there are several ways you can create people to help you, but only one of those can be active at any time. So let's say you use a create life from the alchemy, and then you use a conjuration from thaumaturgy or from divinity. Only the latest one, I believe, or maybe it's the first one, but only one of them can be active at any given time. And then they will fight for you, and they will take hits for you, and the AI tends to go after them pretty quickly, which is nice. Oh, I only got one level up. I may have to do this again. When did I last save? Oh, down here. Okay. Yep, I will save before I jump into the altar. Oh, maybe this will do it. Scallywags. Just one again.
Ow. Ow.
I pressed enter too many times. Do that again. So you could brute force this if you couldn't figure out the riddle. It lets you do it over and over again. Okay, save.
Oh. Ow, 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 ow.
3,000 experience. Ooh, and that's a good one. I got a triple there. So do I need more of these or more of these? Well, I'm going to be using more of my divinity, so I'll get those spells points first. Pieces of old bone litter the ground, and deep red stains color the earth. Yeah, I guess a lot of people died coming here. Okay,
Ow.
no way back, only one way through. Just a moment, let me pull up my map. Alright. So, down we go.
Ow.
There we go, hazard area. Okay, so that was the way back up to here.
Ow.
And then this way is where we're going to come back. That's our re-entry point. But the only way forward is to go to the hazard area. So they call it this because you're going to find some crumbled spots and things like that. Jungle vines.
Ow.
Rotting corpses. And whenever you are sleeping, that's when spells really come in handy. Wonderful. It's usually a good idea to rest one time after every battle just to regain some spell points. So I'm going in the... So first I went bottom, so the southeast side. Now I'm going northeast side. And kind of working my way around the right edge for now.
Ow. Ow.
Ooh. I recall these guys being a little tough. So I'm going to do 3 nuclear blasts. No, maybe not. Looks like 2 nuclear blasts would have done it for all these guys down here. Ah, but just 1. My goal is to end with everything 18. Or as many things 18 as possible. Let me redo that.
Ow. Ow.
Just the 1. And I keep accidentally using the first one. I'm trying to keep their spell points in fire roughly equivalent. That way they can all cast nuclear blast whenever I need them to, which could happen in the event of a sleep problem. There we go. It's at least a twofer. I'll take it. Gets it up to full ninjutsu. And we'll push the Osfi next. That's the only spell. Alright. Lots of old bones are lying throughout the lair, and the monster that dwelled here obviously ate very well. You see remnants of things left behind by the victims, all who were probably dragged here against their will. Alright, so one of these places has a search. Most of the debris seems to be rotted junk, but one item appears useful and looks to be in good shape. Miner's pick. Okay, that's a important quest item that we'll use throughout here. Is it this one? Yep. So you see there that the searching, that somebody detects something unusual, that's starting to kick in. That's because the scouting is getting high enough that it's kicking in and doing that. I still go around and do some manual searching until my scouting hits 100, just in case I've forgotten about anything. Scattered bones tell the tale of some poor fellow who wandered a little too far from safety. Searching through the scattered bones, you uncover an interesting key. A dungeon key. We'll give those to Minerva. I think she's doing that. Yep. Alright, now I think we use the miner's pick next. Again, I'm just going counterclockwise around. Detect something unusual. Inspecting the wall, you detect traces of a recent excavation and subsequent replacement of stones. It looks as if someone dug up a passage and then covered it back up. Well, let's find out what's behind it. There's our miner's pick. Boom, a chest. Love chests. Open, inspect, blade. We got an N. No N. There's an N. There's an N. There's an N. Okay, so we got a 1 in 3 chance. So let's try Phantasmal Hand.
Ow.
Noxious Vapors.
Ow. 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 Ow.
I didn't get anything I liked, so I'm just gonna... If I trigger the trap and there's nothing horrible, but I get something good, I'll take it. Otherwise, I want the skill point. MNG, but it's all red, so you don't know if those are real. Let's do Prismatic Missile. Energy Drain. Yep, again, nothing useful. Now, we can just keep working this chest until we get the Heater Shield, which this chest should be able to give us.
Ow. Ow.
A Steel Helm? Would be nice for Hilder, but not that useful. Ninja Gear, which would be nice, but
Ow. 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 Ow.
ooh, Plate Revere. That is worth keeping. and a ninja garb on top of it. Okay. So the Plate Revere is something that I can actually take into Wizardry 7 with me, unencumbered, and it's also better than what I have. So let me trade my leather leggings. Who else had the potions? I'm not going to need those potions anymore. Let me trade those over to Cobra so she can sell those next time. The rutabagas I'm going to keep, and I'll show you why once we reach the end of the game. Stones fallen from a cave-in block the passage to the tunnel. The rocks are too tightly packed together to try and move them by hand. Well, thankfully we have a miner's pick. Okay, 3 stacks. Let's just use Nuclear Blast.
Ow.
Oh, I actually shouldn't have come this way first. There was a dead-end room up here I forgot to go into. Oh, killer rats and rabid rats. Remember they gave us all that hell before? Not so much now. Nothing in there. Okay. Just the one skill point, or the one attribute point. Not good enough.
Ow.
Two. I'll take it. Looking down the tunnel, you spy some very strange-looking black women with white marks painted on their faces and carrying long spears and hide shields. One of the women suddenly points your direction, and they quickly vanish into a passage on the left. Those are the Amazons. We can't go quite there yet. Gotta get one more thing over here. Bam. Alright. And another thing about Nuclear Blast, there is almost never a reason to do more than level 3 at most. And if you go to level 6, it actually doesn't do as much damage. There's a bug in the game. Was that a 2-pointer? I'll take it. Overhead, a cavern ascends up into the darkness. Below, bones from many small animals cover the floor, the discarded remains of the winged cave's dwellers. Inspecting the scraps of bones for anything of interest, you note that there are shards of shiny metal and bits of glass. Obviously attracted by articles of witch glitter, it explains how the key lying at your feet was brought here. A bell key. And obviously I assume people know what that is, the bell tower we were at before. Alright, now it's time to backtrack a little bit. Alright, and where are we here? Let's see how many doors that opens. Strange looking obtrusions are poking out of the ground along the base edge of the wall. There is a silent tremor coming from behind you. You can hear something. Suddenly it leaps out of the wall. I think that was the way out. Let's go this way. This might go to the bell tower, actually. Nope, that's into the jailer section. This also the jailer section? Piled in a heap are old bones of a forgotten prisoner who apparently died in his chains. Searching the old bones, you discover an odd-looking ring on one finger. Upon examining the ring, you see a circle of letters which read, Jolly Roger's Decoder Ring. 1JR Decoder. Alright, let's give that to Ghost. Alright, so now we're going to review... Nope, not Eagle. Review Ghost. We're going to add our Miner's Pick back in there and remove our King's Diary. Add our Book of Ram, we don't need that anymore. And remove our Dead Man's Log. Alright, so now, if we use that on the Dead Man's Log, using the Pirate's Decoder Ring upon the scribblings in the book, you are able to read the following passages. Decided to leave the shipwreck as none of the scouting crews have been heard from. Those damn mists. Entry 99. Making headway upstream on a dinghy. Just the 9 of us left now. Morgan is starting to look pale like the other ones did, and I suspect he's got the sickness too. Entry 100. Morgan was throwing up real bad this morning, and later he died. We are all scared because we don't know what's causing it, and I think it may be the food we've been eating, which is mostly raw meat. The next couple of pages are stained too badly to read, but you resume on the third page following. Entry 106. The captain says if we try to return to the ship, then we're all dead men. But everyone's getting real spooked because we can't find out why the bodies keep disappearing. Entry 107. Goroman died this morning. Same way as everyone else. Now there's only 6 of us left, and the captain says we've got to bury the treasure chest because it's too heavy. I'll be glad when we get off this damn mountain. Entry 108. Roscoe says he saw a man today on a ledge, but he said it was Morgan. But we all know Morgan is dead, and maybe we're all going a little crazy. At least Roscoe is, I think. Entry 109. I saw Morgan today too. I think I've got the sickness now, because I know Morgan's dead. His face was covered with blood, and he just looked at me, didn't say anything, but just smiled. I think I'm going crazy. Entry 1010. May the gods protect us. We was going down the mountain today right after burying the chest when this huge monster, I mean I guess it was a man or something, but it just stood over 12 feet tall, and he just picked up Roscoe and bit off his head with only a single chomp, and then he spit it out and laughed, and we all ran into wherever we are now. We're lost, and that's sure, but the captain says best to keep moving. Entry 111. We are almost down Giant Mountain. Note the the quotation marks there. We'll need that later. At least that's what I call it. And there's some kind of huge gorge with bridges and rope trusses all over it. We can see a bunch of men from here, and it looks like they're mining for something. Entry 112. We're going to try to talk with the dwarf men and see if they can help us. The ink is barely legible on the few last words, and the remainder of the logbook is blank. Remembering the skeleton where you found the logbook, it is clear that the dwarf men didn't help too much. Alright, so the key thing there was we learned that Giant Mountain was where the treasure is buried. that's actually a good place to stop on this one. So join me next time whenever we tell Queequeg where the treasure is hidden and find out the password to the captain's den. Thanks for watching.